Talking. Bam, we're live. Oh, yeah. Oh, Caleb, where are you?
I'm at the Coliseum for Syndicate.
In the bathroom?
No, no.
Locker room?
Locker room.
Locker room.
Undisclosed location.
You are close to a toilet.
Extremely.
Like if you look like if you look up, can you see one?
Yeah. It's literally like 10 feet away.
So we might hear someone piss during the show.
Oh, for sure.
That's awesome.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Show with Chris Rogloski. I don't know. It was like 15 minutes in, and some guy named like Sam Alpine or something. I forget his name, but he said, "Hey, cut cut back on the f bombs, right?"
I don't give a. I don't give a. Look, I don't give a.
That was some great advice. And during the show, after he said that, I was tripping a little bit. I was like, "Oh, I wonder if that is
her dad or something."
No. I recognize him from the show. I wonder if that's a nervous. I wonder if that's a nervous. Like something I do when I'm nervous. I just start dropping more f-bombs. Nervous isn't the exact right word because I wasn't nervous. I don't know what the word is, but I wonder if that's indicative of some sort of insecurity, nervousness, something. But I wondered that. But I really liked the advice. I think it was solid advice. You know, hey, can you drop the f-bombs? So anyway, thank you, Sam, for and that was a great show yesterday. I don't like it when we have bad shows. We don't have a lot of bad shows.
No bad show.
We never have a bad show, but
No
there's
bad
shows
show.
that I don't leave pumped. Speaking of pump, Paper Street Coffee, thank you. What's going on, Gabe? This is the first cup he sent me. It's starting to fall apart. All the cups he sent me after this are deeply engraved. This one was a sticker sent in a rush. So that's he fixed that right away. You know what I this is a theory I have about that coffee too. It's strong, but the beans are like those little brown beans, and they're like all clean and stuff. Like they don't look like commercial beans. And I think my grinder just grabs shitloads of them. So not only are the beans strong, but like, you know what I mean? Like the automatic grinder, I push the button and it makes a different noise than when you put shit coffee in there, like with the black beans. So I'm also guessing that it grinds more. Is that true, Gabe? Am I onto something? C Beaver looking solid today. It's the shirt. Look at his shirt.
Yeah.
The new politically homeless shirt.
Goes spin. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're getting lots of comments today. That
Hey,
workout regimen's working for him.
C Beaver.
Trey Steele workout right there.
It wasn't hard getting up at 5 this morning, but at about 5:30, shit started getting a little weird. Do you know what I mean by that?
No, you after a half hour after you're up, it got weird.
Yeah, like I always get up and I'm tired, and like the first half hour, I'm like, yeah, whatever, okay, and I'm drinking coffee and I'm like going through my notes, and then at about 5:30, I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like myself. I was like, whoa, I'm not.
Do you get nauseous?
No, I'm just not firing on like all the cylinders.
I used to get like when I used to have to wake up to coach 5 a.m. class. I was up at 4 every morning, and like I would just get nauseous. Like I just feel like shit.
When you say nauseous, like in your stomach or in your head?
In my stomach. It was like I was like tired in my head, but like my gut was just. Ugh.
Yeah, mine's not my stomach. Mine's all in my head. Like. I was never into whippets, but kind of like how I imagine, like, you know, how they say like that's bad for you, like to do those whippet things.
Yeah,
I kind of like that, like some brain cells are dead. But for me, it's like just like maybe some of them haven't woken up yet.
Have you done a whippet?
I mean, I did. I was at a Dead show one time, and I took the helium from the balloon, the wah 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 wah. But other than that, but I mean, sometimes I'd be at parties and there'd just be dudes on couches just getting after it for like 2 hours.
That's crazy. I saw a guy at Starbucks do a whippet one time, and I was like, I'm never doing that shit.
Have you ever done it?
No.
Oh, it's really cool. It's cool because it's over fast too. Adam, I am not watching The Ultimate Fighter. As much as I'm into the UFC, I try to only give it I don't know how to word this exactly, but Saturdays, man, like it consumes my Saturdays, and I feel like I shouldn't let it leak out of there. And to watch The Ultimate Fighter, I already give it like all day Saturday to the UFC, and I'm happy to do that. It's I found out one of my friends. So I knew some of my Berkeley friends don't come over. They don't want to come over to my house they don't want to bring their kids over on Saturday nights because I watch the UFC, which I just find fascinating because my kids never watch it. I have this
You don't pay attention to it.
yeah, I have a dreamland if you're a child. In all humility, if you have kids between the ages of 3 and 9 and you know me and you don't come over to my house like every day, you're fucking out of your mind.
Yeah.
One, I have the 3 nicest, coolest kids ever who are always nice to other kids. And not only nice, engage them, play with them, and they will elevate your kids. It's just matter of fact. That's the way it is. And on top of that, I have a massive playroom jiu-jitsu room. I have a massive garage just for kids that's padded. And then I have a backyard that's completely fenced in with endless stuffed in lizards and millions of fruit trees, and just it's going off, and it's fenced in, and I have a guard dog in there that just lays around, and if anyone comes in, dog will smash them. And it's great with kids, and it follows the kids around, hangs out with the kids. And you don't bring your kids over because you're afraid. I mean,
the kids aren't even in the TV room.
I do understand some of my friends don't want their kids around me because I just swear like a sailor. I get that. I get it. I get that. But because we're watching UFC, it's just bizarre to me. It's bizarre. Meanwhile, your kid has their own iPad that they're perusing constantly. Yeah, I see. And you feed it like, would you rather have your kid be in a house where the UFC's playing or feeding your kid muffins at Starbucks? What are you doing?
Yeah, you could work at a restaurant. You could observe some different parenting techniques, if you will, there.
I saw somebody the other day. I was at a coffee shop, and like this woman came in with her kid and just literally sat down, set up the iPad, gave him the big old earmuff headphones, and was like, "What do you want to eat?" And then obviously like toast and jelly, and then the kid just fucking sat there with his massive headphones and chilled for 2 hours.
Well, she did worked on her fans only page, or only fans page, and I'm not knocking parents who do that. Like if you for some reason you have to do that, do what you have to do. But I'm just saying, it's the same parents who don't take their kids to martial arts because they think it's going to make their kids violent. You don't understand them. Like I'm not going to get into it now, but you are totally not thinking properly. If your kids are violent, it's because you're not cool.
Yeah,
probably
something else going on there.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that you take them to jiu-jitsu. Matter of fact, that would be if you get your kids into martial arts, the exact opposite will happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say whoever says that has never done a martial art, because like it's literally the exact opposite. Like you go to a class and there's no way that you're gonna be violent or aggressive. I mean, not no way, but
some guy this morning sent me a bunch of a whole paragraph, 2-paragraph, massive DM talking to me about the benefits of TRT, games athlete. Oops. Yeah. 38 years old. And then I went to his Instagram, and of course he has a beautiful body. His wife was ridiculous. I was thinking also about Chris yesterday, that I was thinking about just what the perfect girlfriend, she's like the perfect girlfriend. I mean, just from the superficial 1.5, 2 hours we talked to her, but that's pretty much my wife too. I could just move into into a van with my wife. My wife's so easy. I was like, oh wow.
I imagine that's what Avi's first girlfriend will be like.
I have the cross. No, he's gonna probably get some tatted up chick with a nose ring and blue hair, just
to rebel.
Just to fuck you. Yesterday, Matt, Susan and I were talking, and Matt shared this idea with me that I just found absolutely fascinating. It's probably one of the most true things I've heard in a long time. I hate to just bash on the left. I really don't like doing it. The whole racist thing about how racist the left is, and the whole DEI thing. I know you guys have heard me talk ad nauseum about it. And so I won't go into it, but it's truly profound how they, by trying to fight racism, actually have created it and force it upon us. force it upon us. But yesterday when I was on the phone with Sousa, he was talking to me about the definition of what a dictator is. Do you remember this, Sousa? Was this you and I talking about this?
Yeah.
And what was it? What you were telling about the components or one of the elements or signs, not correlates, but actual elements. If you live in a dictatorship, what tell me what they were.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, including my grandfather, used to say Trump was a dictator.
Right.
And
when you say dictator, I think of a Russian guy who controls everything in the country.
yes,
I don't know. I just think that because we were raised that way. Oh, okay. Sorry. A ruler with total power over a country, typically one who has obtained control by force.
Yes.
Okay.
But the big thing with that's the literal definition that was just read. But the big thing there is that the whole system works with the dictator. So in communist countries, like if let's say we were media and we started having opposing views, we would immediately be shut down. We'd be censored. And in some cases, there would be harm brought to us or our families.
So a defining characteristic of a dictatorship is when the leader has complete control over the media or the media is completely behind them.
Yeah, the whole system, the cops, the media, everything has to work in conjunction with the dictator. There cannot be no opposing point of view.
For those people who keep DMing me every day who are in complete shock that they realize that my account is under restrictions or shadow banned, dude, that has been going on for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's tens of thousands of people everywhere who have massive restrictions on their accounts. Is Trump president right now?
Negative.
I've never seen media. Maybe it's just I've never been more aware of it. I've never seen media like this. The media is completely controlled by one fucking side except for fucking Fox.
Yeah, one narrative.
And half the people I know who watch Fox think that it's a psyop and that it's controlled by the same people who control CNN.
Soft. They don't really push against it.
I've had a dozen guests on in the last couple of months who say we can't talk about the election being rigged.
Yeah.
Or about the movie 2000 Mules. That means, do you guys understand what Susan just said? That means that the dictatorship is now. That is one of the core components of a dictatorship. Yep. Is that the leader has to be in cahoots. Cahoots. I didn't do my voice exercises this morning.
No.
Cahoots. Has to be in cahoots with the media. And that's exactly what we're in right now. And guess who the media hated? I saw something, 54% of the stories on Fox were negative about Trump when he was in office.
Yeah. Did you see they're bringing it back too now? Because with the midterm elections coming up and everything else, they're calling it the ultra MAGA.
Oh, that's what CNN's calling it?
No, that's what Biden's calling it.
Oh, no.
He referred to it multiple times like there's this big movement, the ultra MAGA, and we can't let the ultra MAGA take any ground. Don't listen to their point of views.
It's truly unbelievable. As soon as you told me that yesterday, I was like, holy shit, we really truly are. And we're living in an insane dictatorship. I want to apologize to China right now. Okay, I want to apologize to you for, your country is fucked up. And your leader is a complete magoof. You guys should be terrified. But I probably just point fingers over there because our shit's so sideways. I don't want to acknowledge it.
Well, if you look at the different things that they're doing, other than obviously the dictatorship and the communism, some of them are really like what they do with their social media. So their algorithm will upplay education, science, different things like that to make those people influencers, and the algorithm will downplay people that would just show themselves half naked or different things that offer no value.
Who does that?
China with their TikTok.
Oh, right. Really? They have a different algorithm than us too?
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. So none of the kids are watching these dancing things. They'll downplay it. The algorithm downplays all that. And if somebody that's doing educational or if it's math or if it's science or something like that, the algorithm will upplay that. So they control who their influencers are. I
don't even have TikTok on my phone. I don't have that app.
Well, the algorithm would be different. If you did it, you would have girls in bikinis dancing around.
I think that's a song. Girls in bikinis.
But yeah, that's why I think it's funny because it always starts with good intentions, right? They want to censor some information so that way it doesn't scare people off for certain medical choices. and then slowly the rope gets let out more. Well, now we have to do it because there's the ultra MAGA, and we don't want those ideologies to spread. And then soon it becomes more and more and more information, and pretty soon there's a complete stranglehold on what could be said and what can't be said. And you're like, how did we get to this place? But it all started nice and slowly.
Caleb, where did you get that shirt?
I'll show you.
Nice and slowly. Like this. Alan Kester Baum, that sounds like a Jew name. Being Hispanic, I don't know, buddy. Jew Hispanic? Venezuelan Jew. Like Steph Cohen. Being Hispanic, I always thought Trump was a racist, understood. And then Stephon opened my eyes. I now get triggered when people start talking shit about Trump. I know, it's crazy, right? By the way, so that was the final straw for me. I had a shitload of family members over, and they were talking shit about how Trump was racist towards Mexicans. And so I went and looked up the transcripts of what he was saying. And he was saying that Mexico is sending over its worst people. And I was like, wait a second, that's not racist. All of a sudden, everything started, like all sorts of things started opening up for me. Like when I go to Livermore, that's the town that Susie lives in. Everyone looks the same to me. Those people. How is that like? Do you remember that joke? That was like the big joke in the 80s in sitcoms. Like some white person would be in a room full of black people and be like, those people, and all the black people are like,
what do you mean by those people?
Yeah, like, dude, shut up. Do
you ever watch Airplane?
Yes.
Not in a long time.
There's something like that in that movie. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really, really strong. I don't think it's. I want to say it's not just a correlate. I want to say it's a component of a dictatorship.
It's the most important one. The system has to work for you. You have to be able to control all of it, so that way there's no opposing views.
Because you have to be in control.
Of course, because otherwise people would start to do what you did, which is like, let me research this actually.
Shithole countries. Yeah, that's another great one. That's another great one. Hey, it's just like the thing. Don't get me. Who cares if he said that? Maybe if you don't think it's a classy thing for our president to say, sure. But there's nothing racist about it. There's tons of shithole countries. I've been to them. It sucks. I made a movie about disabled adults. It won 30 film festivals. It was huge. It's somewhere on YouTube. I think it's called Our House. Yep. And when I made the movie, I had lived with these mentally disabled adults. There were 8 of them in the house. And when I made the movie, what's the name of the government? Not the CDC. But within the state, there's an organization, a regional center, and a group. Child Protective Services, CPS? No. There's some organization in the state, big organization, gets a shitload of money, shitload of bureaucracy, and they basically manage all of the money that trickles down to mentally disabled people or people of needs, right? That organization from the state saw the movie, and they came to the house. And they started auditing the house, and they're like, and they came at me really hard, and they tried shutting the house down, and they started saying that I've depicted mentally disabled people in a horrible light. And do you want to know what happened? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Made in 2000. That's the first movie. The parents of these adults all stepped forward for me. I didn't even ask them. And the state was like, this is a horrible depiction of mentally disabled adults. And you know what the parents said? No, this is actually a perfect depiction of our children and our loved ones. Yep. And it sucks being mentally disabled. And this guy fucking finally captured it. It's not a fucking fun life. It's fucking hard having awareness that you're mentally disabled. Very hard. But they didn't like the depiction. Who cares? It's honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you think it's racist that someone says Mexico is sending its rapists over to us, you know what that means, right? It means you're racist. You're a liar. You're uncomfortable with it. Okay. This is what it's like when I have male guests on the show. Sorry, this one's not numbered. Did I send the notes to you, Caleb? That's how early it was this morning. I don't even know what
they were early. That was at 5:30. No
dictatorship. That was so good when you shared that with me yesterday. I really like that.
Well, I hope it just opens people's eyes to just not, because sometimes we get so caught up in our labels and the tribalism of everything, left, right, conservative, Democrat, that it's really important that you just take a step back from all of it and just say, like, what are the mechanisms in play here? Like, just become an observer. Don't become a participant. And then you'll be surprised at what you kind of find in that journey there.
You need to remind me that every day.
Be an observer, not
Yeah,
a
stop participating. I start
Well,
participating. Ever seen a grown man? I bathed many a naked grown man, and I took fucking pride in it. But did you call them a bunch of retards? No.
But there
I
is
did
a
not.
scene.
But there is a scene in there with it. Yeah.
Just go watch it. You guys will
Yeah,
not be disappointed.
you'll
I
like
watched
it.
it just when I stumbled upon it, and I was like, oh, I'll watch a few minutes of this, and I got sucked in. I watched the whole entire thing. It's like 90
But I can call them retards because I lived on the driveway in my car. I was one of them. I hung out in the hood, so I can use the R word, playa. How old do you have to be to enter that house? I don't know, 18. I at least 18. At least 18. Caleb, what's going on?
Having a hard time finding that.
Oh, it's at the very, very top. This is what it's not numbered. It's at the very top, right below parents quote, t-shirt talk, email newsletter. Oh, email newsletter. You guys sign up for the email. You're
Yeah,
missing out.
we gotta start pushing that. There's some great stuff coming through there.
You guys are missing out because we're politically homeless, Sousa.
Yeah, I like that.
You don't see it, Sousa, right at the very top? It's at the very, very top.
Oh. And Caleb
look
probably
at-
doesn't have a second screen either, so it makes it even harder because then we have to probably go away.
Hold on. Or maybe I added it before I sent it to him. How about that, Sousa?
I'm not seeing it at all.
How about private chat? That means I screwed you. That's all. That's got to be my fault. What do you think about? Oh yeah, this is fantastic.
When they get together, the conflict really is who gets to be the male. So they do what's called penis fencing. They approach each other, they rear up. That's an indication both are ready to breed. But when they rear up, they both have an erect penis. And this is a penis that has a weaponry on its tip. Each tries to impale the other one and not get inseminated by the other.
This is the worst game of tag I've ever heard.
Flatworms are called simultaneous hermaphrodites. They're male and female at the same time. And when they get together, the conflict really is who gets to be the male. So they do what's called
Penis fencing.
Oh boy.
Penis fencing. That's incredible. If anyone wants to come over to my house and do some penis fencing,
I would call it swords.
I'm willing
only
to
have
try
3 with
anything
me.
once. Penis fencing. Those are beautiful creatures, right? Flatworms. Hi, Jody. Good morning.
So
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
How are you guys?
I'm living the dream.
Wonderful.
Of course. Of course. I saw our house. That was very good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You think?
I thought it was a good, honest depiction of mental health for sure.
Yeah, tough, right? Tough. One of those cats in that movie got in a motorcycle accident and ended up like that.
Oh shit.
One in the wheelchair?
No, actually, I haven't seen. I shouldn't speak. I haven't seen the movie in 25 years. When did you watch it?
Within the last few months.
Yeah, maybe that. Now that I think about it, maybe that guy didn't make it in the film. Oh my goodness! Someone has a picture of me for their avatar. Those penis fencers are so sexist. They both want to be the man. I agree. No one wants to be. No one wants to be the woman. Those are some sexist fish. Now that I think about it.
Sexist fish.
Wow. I don't think anyone really wants to be inseminated. Everyone just wants to. Everyone wants to do it, but no one wants to. I don't know. Jody, do you have kids?
2.
Yes, 2. And that's right. And did you enjoy being pregnant?
Loved it.
Yeah.
I wish I had.
I think my.
I wish I was
Sorry.
very practical.
Sorry, that was my fault. I cut you off. My wife enjoyed it too, and she would even when it got hard at times with the twins, she would actually talk to herself and be like, "Hey, you got to figure out a way to enjoy this because this isn't going to happen again." So like she would do her best to make the best of every moment of it. Yeah.
No, I loved it. It was nice.
It's cool.
Right.
It's amazing how proud women get of their bodies when they're pregnant too.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was very. And to see the women who work out pregnant now, I was behind the times back then. I didn't do too much, but I did enjoy it.
Last night, the lady we had on who won High Rocks, she said that one of her competitors was 8 months pregnant.
What?
Crazy.
And it was the former champ from the previous year.
It's fun. I had to stop. I was listening to that this morning, and I had to stop it midway to get into this one.
You're good. Smart move.
Chasing your podcast.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Olson, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Means a lot. What else she said about this lady who did High Rocks at 8 months pregnant? 8 months prior to that, or 7 months prior to that, she competed against this same woman in some sort of crazy Spartan, like the hardcore Spartan race, the one that's like for the elite level. And oh, we have a special guest coming on the show this morning. Wow. Okay.
Just got nervous.
Well, the whole CrossFit philosophy is like you don't know what your body can do until you do it.
Yeah,
And I guess that lady's proving.
Yeah, when she told me that, I just imagined this lady only does two things. She's either running or she's resting, and whenever she rests, her husband jumps on her and nails her. But other than that, she's just training. That's like, he knows she's either training for Spartan or High Rocks, or she's sleeping, and that's when he gets her pregnant. I just imagining. I was just imagining. Oh, I'm so tired, I can't run anymore. Oh, no problem, honey. Lay down over here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jody, is there anything specific? I want to try to get through some stuff today. I don't mean to rush you, but is there anything specific? And now I'm getting a little nervous about our guest coming on. I'm getting a little nervous.
I just was wondering if you remember during your behind the scenes, the funniest thing I ever saw on behind the scenes was when you're talking to Khalifa and Froning, and they're like watching all these people warm up, and they're like, I don't know, they're all warming up. We're not warming up. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Was it in the 2014 Open announcement? Oh wait, or
no,
was it
it was
Rogue?
No, it was underneath the stadium, and Khalifa and Froning are just kind of looking at people like, I don't know, they're all warming up. We're ready. Let's go. It's really funny.
And Froning probably won.
Party.
Oh yeah, Froning won. But I mean, it had to be like what, 13 or 14 if Khalifa was in there.
I want you to close your eyes. Are you driving?
No.
And I want you to close your eyes, Miss Jody. Oh, not you, Caleb. Oh, you can too. Fine, Caleb too.
He wants to do the exercise.
Close your eyes, and I want you just to picture Rich Froning. Can you picture him?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And maybe just so it's not weird. Let's picture Angelo next to him, so it's not like just us alone with Rich in our head. Let's have Angelo there as a chaperone.
Oh, all right.
Let's try to summon them. Okay, maybe they'll call in. Maybe Angelo and Rich will call in a few minutes. We'll see if our manifestation powers work. Thank you for calling this morning.
Yeah. Hey, you guys take care. Have a great weekend.
Okay, bye.
You too, Jody. Thanks. When you said picture Rich Froning, the first thing I thought of was like this portion of just his torso. Like
pervert.
Like his
You
chest,
pervert.
his shoulders. And then I was like, am I going to go beard or no beard?
In mine, he was carrying a gun. In mine, he was carrying a shotgun. It's a very manly depiction of Mr. Froning. Okay, so we did the flatworms that just two dudes. Can you imagine that? It's just two dudes with a dick, and whoever gets stuck is the one that gets the baby. Oh God. Oh my goodness. I wanted to one of the things I wanted to talk about in today's show, subject that when Susan and I were down in Newport, meeting with California Hormones, we went to a birthday party there. Yes, Newport. We went to a kid's birthday party there. Maybe I should put my nose up. Newport. And we were at a kid's birthday party there, and this man shows up, and he's got a daughter with him. And I, at some point I want to tell that story, but I think we're going to have a call soon. So let's get through some of these other things. And Susan and I had a blast talking about it, about him and his daughter and the way they behaved.
Put that subject on hold.
Yes. Can we go to number 1? I don't know if this is true, but this is how I live my life. Tried to organize these notes. Do you see that one, Caleb? Yes, yes. You guys went to Newport? We did. Will, you have time to watch the show? Here we go. Here we go.
Passively.
Being paid for, you'll never be paid for more than you're doing. Giving is one of the laws of the universe. You've got to willingly give and graciously receive. And if you have to think before you give, you're trading, you're not giving. If you're not willing to do more than you're being paid for, you'll never be paid for more than you're doing. Giving is one of the laws of the universe. You've got to willingly give and graciously receive. And if you have to think before you give, you're trading, you're not giving. If you're not willing.
I want to tell you a story. There's these people who so karma is real, and anyone who tries to fuck with karma, like get good karma or bad karma, is just fucking up. That's the weird thing about it. You have to just build good habits and then kind of go on autopilot and just be like Forrest Gump. If you think you're doing something nice to someone to get something back, you get it right there. That moment is the moment you're getting it. You've put nothing in motion. It's like putting gas in your car while it's running, but only dripping it in at the same speed that it's consuming it at the gas station. You're burning that as fast as you're putting it in. Those of us who do nice shit for people, we don't think, we're not thinking. It's already, it's in our habits. It's ingrained in us. Those of us who work harder than what we get paid for, it's ingrained in us. We're not trying to get some fucking reward. All those people around you who are successful that you might resent or you don't think deserve $50 billion, that's how they all got there. Like them, love them, don't like them. Joe Biden was never lazy. He didn't get to where he was being lazy. Never.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Hunter Biden, no, all those people, they've created their lives. He didn't get all that crack just by sitting around doing nothing.
No, he's doing foreign deals, baby.
Yeah,
Makes
read that
work.
book. He's fucking working his ass off to get his next rock.
He's hustling.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the same thing with I forget what the video was, but it's somebody picking up a piece of trash as they're just walking by.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, that's nice. You picked up that trash for them." And he goes, "I didn't pick it up for them. I picked it up for me. I'm cultivating a mindset. It's a habit to where every time I go buy something, I'm leaving it better than I found it."
Yes. Yes. Wow, that's a great one. That's a fucking great one. Do everything you do, what is it, to the best of your ability. Do everything, all of it. That was so good. But so I had this friend, and we were talking about a third friend. So let's say Caleb and I were talking about Souza, and Caleb said, "Hey, I called Souza to check on him," or he would say to me, let's say Caleb said, "Hey, I hate Souza," and I go, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I called on him to check on him," and I go, "And what happened?" And he goes, "Well, so he didn't answer. He didn't answer. Yeah, and he never called me back." I'm like, "Wait a second." You called him to check on him, to do something nice, but he didn't answer or call you back, and now you hate him because he didn't let you perform your act? I mean, and I think that when I heard that, of course I unfucked my friend. I'm like, dude, your shit is all fucked up.
So much ego in that.
Yeah, your shit is all fucked up. It's like, and I used to be like this as a little kid. It's like when you do something nice for someone or you say hi to someone and they don't say hi back to you, they don't owe you shit. Don't get me wrong. They're fucking knuckleheads for not keeping the game going.
Mm-hmm.
But no one owes you shit. It's the same thing. If you ask someone a yes or no question, but you just assume they're going to say yes and they say no, then you're the piece of shit. You ask them with an expectation. Don't do that to people. Don't set yourself up for failure like that. I've told the story about the guy who asked me for a cigarette once, right? The Rastafarian guy at a park, at a band. Basically, I was at a show, like an impromptu show in college, just some dudes playing music and drum circle, and I'm sitting there and I'm smoking cloves, and this really cool Rastafarian dude comes up, just beautiful long dreads. Hey man, he's like clearly like from Jamaica or something. Can I get a smoke? And I have my cigarette. I'm like, no. And he goes, oh, why not? And I said, because they're mine. And he goes, you don't have an extra one in there? And then now I'm getting like just smart. So I'm like, nope, every pack just comes with 12. There wasn't an extra one in this one or in any of the packs I ever bought. And then he's like, you're being an asshole, man. And then I was like, hey, dude, you came over to me and asked me for a smoke. That means I have two choices. If I didn't have any choices, you should have just come over and said, give me a smoke or taken my pack from me.
Right.
But you're disingenuous fucking douche. He just walked away. He didn't like that.
I once heard something like replace expectation with appreciation.
Expectation. Yeah, I like that.
So it's like,
yes,
you know, if you go do something or whatever, it's like rather than placing some sort of expectation, which is normally never going to be lived up to, you might as well just have appreciation for whatever it is you're doing or attempting to do or going to. It makes life a little easier.
Good morning, GP. Any kind comments we can get from GP. Let's acknowledge this. Let's reward GP for this one. Usually I just reward him for his negative shit. Good morning. Good morning, my friend. I'm not getting nice. Hey, Adam, this is for you. How good are you at hacky sack? I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Hacky sack. God, I wanted to be so good at that. I suck. That requires practice. I didn't have that. So don't be afraid to just put in new practices. And like Sousa gave a good one. Pick up trash when you see it. That's just a great practice. You guys have all heard my one. No matter what money I see on the ground, a penny, a nickel, a dime, anything, I pick it up and I tell myself, you're a money magnet. There'll be like 4 adults, like grown-ass men in their suits and shit standing somewhere, and I'll walk by and I'll see a penny by their feet and I'll be like, excuse me, gentlemen, is this yours? And they'll be like, no. And they look at me like I'm a weirdo, and I'm like, I'll take that. Oh, you guys are early. What are you guys doing? You guys can't just crash this show.
Oh, hey.
Oh, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, we can. We can do what we want. Do what we want, man.
Samuel Convoy.
Nice.
Rich Froning and the only dude who matters, a man with a camera. Who's that in the back? God, Rich, what a great fucking morning. 6:30. This is the earliest I've ever hung out with you.
Uh-oh, they're frozen.
They are frozen.
They still look great frozen.
Scott. Yeah, Scotty, what's up, dude? Living the dream,
driving,
huh?
So
where are you guys going? You guys are breaking up pretty bad. Where are you going? Well, fantastic having you guys on the show.
I say that just gives me an idea. We could always just put a screen with them in it and be like, oh, they're on again. For all the clicks.
I put Scott yeah, it's a little better. That one cell tower in Cookville is struggling right now. I think like 6 people are on their cell phone at the same time.
7.
Sorry, 7.
I think we switched
7.
off the Wi-Fi.
7.
Yeah.
Samuel, can you turn your phone off so we can get better reception on Rich's phone?
Airplane mode, please.
Yeah.
Mode, gentlemen.
Where are you guys going?
We are headed to Knoxville for semifinals.
Nice.
And it's just the 3 of you in that car?
Yep, just the 3 of us. 3 best friends.
Is this normal? I thought for some reason I pictured you guys all getting in the van and Dad driving.
Yeah, you can't see out of the back of that thing, so everybody gets car sick. Nah, right now, like I said, it's just us. Whoop, and there we go.
It's okay. No one wants to look at you anyway. People only like your voice.
I get it. Yeah, no, it's me, Scott, and Sam heading that way. The girls headed up last night, and check-in day today.
Any regrets bringing Samuel onto the team? Pretend like he's not there.
Only that he's Canadian.
Understood.
That's the only one though.
Does he take a lot of? Are there a lot of Canadian jokes?
Not really. Mostly French jokes. Since
right.
He speaks French, you know. And we're dumb and only speak one language, so we like to make fun of people who can only speak 2 languages. Okay, you know.
Yeah, I gotta smack him down a little bit.
Yeah.
you guys critique his French even though you don't know it. Hey, dude, you said that wrong.
Same with Guy too. We like to give Guy crap even though he speaks 2 languages, and us stupid Americans only speak 1. You know.
Samuel, you had the wrong inflection. That's not how you speak French.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you from Canada?
Hey.
How about that dude in the back? Does he speak any other languages?
Negative. He speaks camera. That's Scott speaks content. That's all he speaks.
He speaks in
What's up with the
ISO.
What's up with the other camera? The other camera dude made it on the team.
Yeah, Ben's team. They're competing this weekend with us on Justice.
That's the redheaded dude.
Yep, that's redheaded Ben.
And is that kind of like a? Do you think that when he became a cameraman, it was kind of like a gate? Like he knew that was his way. Shit,
Like
I'm never going to get to train in the barn. I'll start as a cameraman and then slide onto a team. I'm being serious. You think there was any of that?
No. I just think Ben's been incredibly fit since he started coming to Mayhem, and then over the years, I mean, I have a good Ben story. Oh, Scott has a good Ben story. He'll let you.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Hey, but Scott, before you start, does Ben ever take off his shirt?
Sometimes. I told him if they're comfortably like in a qualifying position for the last event, he needs to take off his shirt so he can show everyone what peak performance looks like.
Wow, you did tell him that?
Yeah.
Hey, he doesn't seem like he has a good sense of humor. He seems like a really stoic guy. Like you got Miko Salo as your.
Ben probably has the best sense of humor of anybody on our crew.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
But he said in 2019 he went to Iceland to film, and he was watching like the competition, and he saw how people were doing, and he was like, "Wow, I can do way better than that guy, or way better than that team, or whatever." And he's like, "I should try to compete." And so in 2019, after that happened, he rode on a pair of white Nano 4s, like Sanctionals 2019 or something. And he claims he's going to wear those out on the floor. But so in 2019, he decided he'd probably compete CrossFit.
Wow. And so
the Iceland competition disappointed him so much.
And this is his first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a couple spots out of semifinals as an individual last year.
Yeah, and he backfilled this year.
He backfilled in this year, but went team.
Wow.
Caleb, now that Scott has started talking, can you put in Scott in there too? It says Rich, Samuel, and
camera guy Scott.
Yeah, camera guy C Scott. Like you're C Beaver, he's C Scott. Samuel, seriously, any anxiety about being team and going to this event, not being individual? Is any part of you like shit? What did I do? Like, no, man, the field is just a bunch of pussies this year.
No, it's gonna be next weekend.
Say that again.
That's gonna be a nice weekend.
It is.
Yeah.
But you're not answering the question. Is any part of you feeling?
His Canadian's coming out. He doesn't want to say anything negative. He just
Don't give the politically correct answer.
like who are the do we know who you're going to the syndicate?
Yeah, syndicate.
Caleb, can we see who the guys are on there? Let's ask Samuel who he can beat. Let's just pull up that.
just go down the list.
Can he? Would he qualify as an individual from there?
Yeah, 100%.
Scott,
I don't know who the. I know a couple. Like I know Scott's on there, Ben's on there, Hopper's on there, Maderos, Morad. I mean, it's a pretty heavy hitter sanctional, but Sam's super fit. I have no doubt he would have made it.
Scott, can you vote in on that?
Yeah, he'd be on the podium.
He'd be wow.
Semifinal.
Okay.
100%.
So how about this guy Mateus Porter? Does he beat that guy? No. That's the only guy that beats.
That's the one we're worried about. Mateus.
What's your Rich? What's your relationship like with Justin Medeiros? Do you have one? Do you
I
guys...
like Justin. Yeah, I mean we haven't. He's been to Cookville once, and anytime we see each other, we talk a little bit. I'm not, I don't have. We don't talk on the phone.
Damn, we lost him. Is redheaded Ben a stepchild? Great question. Fair. Totally fair. Say that one time. So again, Rich, so you guys don't talk on the phone. What?
No, we don't talk on the phone or anything, but anytime we see each other, we talk a little bit. I like Justin a lot. Good kid. Seems like positive energy guy. Like him a lot.
Yeah, he is so positive, right?
Yep.
And
almost
a good sense.
Too positive. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I think that's fair. He is almost too positive, and he has a totally different. Where you guys train in this crew, he trains totally alone.
Yeah, I mean, that's some people are different like that. I like to have people around us and like to hang out and work out at the same time. So But yeah, he's got a little crew. I think when we were at Rogue, he was up there and they were doing their own thing. But there was like 5 or 6 of them. Kind of, I don't know. And that could have just been that he was on a trip. But I
get the impression he doesn't want to train with guys from last time I talked to him, and now he's got Ellie over there, that girl from Australia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Did you ever train alone?
I would do maybe a session or 2 alone, but for the most part, we always kind of had a crew. I had a bunch of good people around that would, when I was an individual, that would push me in different areas, like people that were stronger, people that were maybe better cardio wise. So I've always just kind of trained with a group. I like, hanging out, and like I said, hanging out and working out. It's more fun that way.
Not that there's any comparison between me and you, but I used to love working out with other people, and then I started training by myself, and it's hard to go back.
Yeah, there's some days where, it is nice to just either go out to the barn or go to the basement, not have to worry about anybody else's schedule. They're kind of warm up and,
right.
Whatever. And you can just kind of, especially having kids or, family stuff, there are days definitely that I'm like, I'll just go knock something out, and it's a whole lot easier. And that's kind of our Sundays or our Thursdays. And then Monday through Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday, it's kind of, we just bigger group session.
Are you spending time every day with your kids?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We, if my kids can go, if we're doing something that they can go to, if I'm going to the gym or whatever, or, if they're down at the barn every day, basically getting in the way, riding their bikes around, making everybody super nervous with barbells overhead. It's great.
Sam is ranked so high for me. I'm disappointed he isn't going Indy. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. We all are. This is fucking ridiculous. This is just a jerk off session with these two on the same team. Come on. This is ridiculous. Like the two guys we want to see going individual the most are now on a team together. Whoop-de-doo. Great. Tell him, Scott. Tell him. How excited would you be if these two guys went individual?
I'd be very excited.
Yeah, very excited. Hey, Rich, what's going to happen to Annie? Look, I moved them up so that the writing wouldn't cover their face, and now they just keep tilting the camera up. Do you think is it once you go team, you can't go back to? Like, have we lost Annie now?
I don't think so.
To the abyss of teams?
I don't think so. I enjoy team better. Sam's going to do a 1-year stint. He'll be back individual, so we haven't lost Sam. I don't know. It's just so much more fun to compete with other people. Personally, I don't know. That's not for everybody. But I think depending on how Annie's overall experience is this year, you might see her back as an individual, or she might stay there. Who knows? But Sam will be back next year.
So but that's what I'm saying. You think that there's some things about now Annie has a kid. There's some things that she's going to see about being on team that make it a nicer lifestyle.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember what her kind of growing up sport background was. But for me, always playing team sports, I missed the team sport aspect of competing. And so I just really enjoy being on a team, and I can't speak for her, and like I said, what her kind of background was in that regard.
Samuel, did you play team sports?
Yeah, I played hockey all my life growing up, so that's why.
And is this scratching that itch? Are you feeling something similar from when you were on a team with hockey to the team you're on with Mayhem?
Feel like being on a team is scratching that itch. Like,
nah.
Oh, that was cool, Rich. You translated into French for him. That was awesome. Thank you.
we.
I mean, just like you said, it's team sport is always more fun to do, and being in a team, it's like when you have like a harder day at work or at the gym, it's just, I don't know, you push for your teammates because they're counting on you for games day. So it's a different mindset, but I like it a lot. And yeah, I'm enjoying this year.
Okay, here's the best question I'm going to ask the whole time. Scott, you ready?
Scott.
Yeah.
how did you as the cameraman get to go with these guys? Like, if let's say that I'm guessing that there's a handful of camera guys going, and like everyone's like, oh fuck, I hope I don't have to ride in the car and fucking listen to Guy talk fucking Portuguese for fucking 2 hours in the car. Oh shit, I got rich in Samuel. Oh fuck. You call your mom. Oh fuck, going with the champ. Is it like that?
No. I guess I just tell people what to do, so I ended up in this truck.
Yeah, Scott's the director, so
awesome.
Director of media, so he gets to call his shot.
Scott, were you on that? Were you on the show? What's your last name?
Vandersloot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't even recognize you. I apologize.
I was like, you didn't recognize.
No, I didn't fucking he's just Vanderslut to me. That's it.
Old Vanderslut, that's him.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, no, Scott gets to pick what he wants to do, and most of the time I'm like, "Hey, Scott, you're coming with us," because I like to hang out with Scott. I like all of our camera people, but Scott.
But not Ben, because Ben doesn't really talk. Ben doesn't have a sense of humor, and he doesn't say much.
Ben, you need to meet Ben. That's about as far from the truth as.
Honestly,
Interesting.
Ben should get on the show
Yeah, you need to get after the semifinal. We need to get Ben on there because Ben's got some pretty good hot takes.
He's the most entertaining of our media team for sure.
For sure, probably the most personality, honestly.
Okay, good. So I'll just keep picking on him like he has no personality until I meet him. Savon, let Samuel Cornway speak French, then Google translate it in the subtitle. No.
It's a lot of work, Bruce.
Samuel, and here comes the worst question of the show. How's your kid?
Where's my kid?
How's your kid?
How is your kid?
They're great. They're great. I miss them a lot. Yeah.
When I had interviewed you, you had mentioned that you were in Cookeville, and this was before you had announced you were going on the team. And I was like, man, this is crazy dedication that he has going down there and being away from his kids. But now I kind of piece it together. You had to get in there within the time frame, right? That's why you had to go before Jan 1?
Yeah, I mean, they came to visit me a couple of weeks ago here in Cookeville. I'm going to go see them for a week at the home, and I'm going to bring them with me back in July for Kings Prep. So at least I'm going to be, I'll have some time with them. But yeah, I miss them a lot.
How old's the baby?
Those sacrifices are paying off. I'm getting fitter every day, and yep, ready to kick some ass.
Awesome. And how old's the baby?
She just turned 6 months.
And it's just one, right?
Mila just turned 6 months, and Liam is 4.
Oh, and was Liam there too?
Yep. Yeah, that was actually kind of funny because he played him and Trice. So just like to put you in context, Liam doesn't speak English yet.
Trice obviously doesn't speak French. He barely speaks English.
So and they played the whole week together nonstop, and I don't know how, but they were understanding each other, and they had a blast.
It was pretty cool just to see like those two interact without being able to speak each other's language. It was hilarious.
How long was he there?
They were 10 days. Yeah.
Any part of your wife having concerns because the Froning kids just run wild? Was she like, okay, because you know, like parents get like that, like when they get around kids who are like these country kids, like Trice was doing stuff and like, really, should he be taking cow patties and throwing them up against the side of the barn? And like, did your wife have any issues at first, like letting them kind of free range with the buffaloes?
I mean, Liam and Trice are different a little bit, but I think it was great for Liam to have a friend like Trice to show him like to be a little bit more wild, I would say.
Yeah.
Wild is a good word for
wild
Trice.
is a good word. And but you know, we share the same values as Rich's family, so it was great for us, and I think it was a great fit for everyone. And I know Liam is missing Trice a lot, and he can't wait to come back. So. How
old is Trice?
Trice just turned 5 in April, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, him and Violet's 4, but man, Trice is he's 1,000 miles an hour all the time. So it's fun, but it's he's a lot. So yeah, he definitely showed Liam some bad habits for sure.
It's those are my friends. You nailed it, Samuel. My friends now, it doesn't matter whether I like them or not, if they share the same values. as me for their kids, I can accept anything about them. Like I really like they could pee on my toilet seat. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can park in my spot. You can eat my food. If you share the same values as me with how you raise your kids, fuck your family. We're really lucky to find people in our tribe, right?
Yep.
No, yeah, it's nuts. I was just talking about how some of my friends, we watch the UFC every Saturday night at my house, and it's basically what it is people with kids come over and the kids just run wild for like 4 or 5 hours at my house. And there's some parents who don't bring their kids there because they think that because we're watching the UFC, it's going to damage the kids. First of all, none of the kids don't give a shit. They never come in there, but they're like so missing out because it's like the greatest group of kids.
It's Hillary gets a little upset of sometimes with how much I let the kids. I just let them go, like they'll wrestle on the trampoline and do whatever. She just didn't grow up with boys either, so she doesn't understand why Trice is the way he is sometimes.
Right.
And then when she sees other boys, she's like, okay, I kind of get it now.
Yeah. Are you getting more, Rich?
More
kids?
I can't do the baby stage. Hillary came to me, I guess it's been a couple weeks ago, and she was cleaning out the girls' closets and like of all their old clothes and stuff. And she's like, "Hey, are we done with kids?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she didn't know how quick I said yes.
You have 4, right?
We had 3. And
3.
We're just in such a good spot with where Violet's 4, where we can do stuff. Like adding a baby, an infant to the mix. I'm just not a nurturer. That's just not. I'm a glorified playmate. I'm not gonna sit there and hold a baby for hours. Where Hillary, that's her, like that's what she does. She's a nurturer. She loves to hold babies. She could hold them for 24/7. And one of my best friends, Matt, they have a 6-month-old. He's great now, but in the beginning, just watching years be sucked away from Matt's life because they had an infant, it was like power leaving his body, So. They're in a great place now. I just can't do it. As bad as that sounds and as selfish as that sounds, like I really like my kids like a lot. And adding a 4th in, I'm like, I don't know if I could go back to the baby thing again.
Condom sales just skyrocketed. Did Rich just say that power was leaving that man's body?
Aging.
It's like
right
a movie where
eyes.
like, they just suck the life out of you.
Crazy. Oh, what your guys' first event is tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I know I have a schedule here somewhere. Let me see this. I know Taylor sent me a schedule, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, you got to be getting close to like a regular city with like gas stations and shit now. Just say that again.
Yeah,
when is your first event?
I think one gas station in about 50 miles.
What is
midday-ish?
Okay, I have the schedule somewhere. Let me see. Okay, Syndicate team event number 1, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys are 2 hours ahead, so it's at noon. Is that what you just said? Oh, you're
3
awesome.
3 hours ahead, I think, from Eastern time.
Oh, you're Eastern time. Okay. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so
Eastern time. We're actually.
And do you take this? Is there any difference between this competing here and competing at the games? Like in terms of the mentality of the team? I know Scott doesn't give a shit. He just lets the camera dangle from his neck and shit. He's like, that's just fucking semifinal. But for you guys, is there any difference or is it just?
Scott says content's content. He doesn't really care. But for us,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, we want to do what we're going to do at the games, and it's good practice for us in the environment, and a little bit of chaos thrown in there, and you can't replace the intensity of competing. You can train as much as you want, but intensity of competing just does something to your, psychology, your body. After the end of the weekend, even though it's a semifinal and people think we don't care, it'll drain you.
Hey, when you train, is there stuff that you still learn or things that are still developing? Like maybe like when in 2009 you never thought about your breathing, and now it's like always your breathing, or you never thought about nostril breathing, or you know, when you're deadlifting, you're like, holy shit, I should have been doing it like this the whole time. I should have always been pushing down on my big toe. Like, are there any things that you still refine? Like, do you have aha moments still?
Yeah,
And does anything,
for sure.
does anything stick out?
Yeah, actually, you know, it's been a couple months, but I widened my deadlift hand position. K-Star was out here a little bit, and I had just kind of intuitively, for some reason, started doing that. And when he was out here, he was saying he did the same thing because you can actually engage your upper back a little bit more, start a little bit lower, not like an Oli position on the deadlift, but a little bit lower. And that's one thing that, you know, I've kind of developed over the last couple months. And then, you know, just little things, I think, refining movement. And I think we're all constantly learning. And then, honestly, the older I get and certain things start to nag, you got to kind of change up the way the body moves a little bit too. So yeah, I think if you're not learning, you're gonna fall behind.
Let me ask you this question. When I used to see Rob Orlando deadlift, like back in 2000, I don't know, 9 or 10, it would always look like his weight was going on the outside of his feet.
Yeah.
And I noticed as I got older, I started doing that more and more. Do you know what I'm talking about? That feeling?
It's probably because you have less joint space on the inside of your knees now from all the years of. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna be like, shit. I don't have any knee issues, but does that happen? I mean, your feet looked flat there.
I'm sure I roll just a little bit. I noticed when I squat, especially, I roll to the outsides of my feet. I pronate really bad with my feet anyway. That's the way I am biomechanically, I think.
Yeah, maybe that left foot looks like you're on the outside a little bit. Maybe that left foot. I can't tell maybe if it's a camera angle or not.
I'm pretty bow-legged. I've realized in the last couple of years. Like I saw myself walk on a video or something. And I'm like, damn, you're bow-legged. Like my boots, they wear out on the outside. So yeah, I'm definitely, you know, more towards the pronated side of my feet. So I don't know. That could be something. I think about, you know, foot tension and trying to keep weight on the whole foot, not necessarily, you know, I think for years we talked about heels, and that was just a kind of a coaching cue because people are so used to being on their toes in most sports. But I think it's more whole foot pressing versus heel pressing. So that's just something over the last couple of years I've thought about is, you know, contact of the foot and pressing through the whole foot instead of just the heels.
God, I'm so glad that question worked. That could have been a really dumb question. I could have got destroyed. In that video that I don't know if you guys made it or CrossFit made it. I'm halfway through it. It's you guys, I think, doing quarterfinals or something, and you're watching one of the other teams, Mayhem teams, workout, and it is the most. And I. Maybe there's other videos where you're doing this too, but it was the most aggressive I had ever seen you. Like I'd never seen you really in that coaching mindset. And that was the first time I thought, oh shit, maybe, and I don't know if I'm just making this up, but I've heard you allude to maybe this is your last year. And I was thinking, oh shit, maybe he's going to just become a hardcore coach.
You're watching our Road to the Games for Justice and Independence that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you would have asked me 5-6 years ago if I would ever coach, I'd said no. I think of myself almost like my parenting skills. I'm a glorified training partner. But, you know, over the years, I've learned a couple things and ways to help. And so, yeah, I think, you know, I've said this is my last year. This is definitely my last year on the team. But who knows, you know, guys like me, guys like Scott, we can't just full on retire. We're going to be working out anyway. So I'll still do the open. I'll still do probably age group online qualifiers because I am a master starting next year. I missed it this year by a week. And then, you know, if I feel like I can go to the games and compete at the level I want to, then who knows, you know, every couple of years I might do a master's run. I don't know. Guys like me, we don't really retire, so I don't know, you know.
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna play with everybody's emotions like Panchak.
Oh my goodness. Have you talked about this before? This Masters thing?
A little bit, you know. I don't want to like commit to say, hey, I'll do that.
No, too late. Stop. Too late.
Full on commitment. We've decided.
Yes. I don't know if it'll be next year. Like I said, if I feel like I can still compete compete at the level I want to, which is win, then I'll keep doing it. But, you know, I kind of was joking with us internally, and I said, what I'll do is I'll wait till 40. I'll come back for 40. I'll wait till 45. I'll come back at 45. I'll try to win one Masters championship in each of the age categories.
Oh God,
Each
that would
division,
be fucking
each
classic.
division.
Companies, you better hurry up because the company's not going to be around much longer. Okay.
That's true.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to talk to you offline. I appreciate you guys coming on. We will be watching closely. You are so generous with your time, Scott. Thanks for sharing these guys. I know it's not fun sharing the stars. Samuel, can't wait to have you back to individual. We'll pretend to cheer you on too.
Send us a link throughout the weekend while you're podcasting if you want us to jump on.
Always, dude. I'll send you a ton. Yeah, no pressure if you can or can't.
Cool.
And when you see Angelo, give him a big hug for us. We're sorry we missed him.
I'll give him a nut tap. We'll do.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, love you. Bye.
Bye.
That was that just a big announcement that just happened?
I don't know.
I think it was.
Oh, I did want to ask him what happened to our boy Hobart. No Bart. What happened to Hobart?
He's focused on other initiatives.
Caleb, will you open up a text thread to Rich Froning? And I'm going to dictate here. Dear Rich, please do not come on the podcast again with your shirt on. Sincerely, head of Sevon Media LLC. Thank you. Okay, just go ahead and send that off. Thank you. Put my seal on it, wax it, and thank you. Very good, dude. Wow. Fantastic. Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely oh my goodness. Sorry. I promise you what we will share this with you in I just saw a text come in that I'm on this thread also with Caleb and Matt and a bunch of people from the team. And I'm going to make a note here. Share that on Tuesday. Share on Tuesday. I will share this moment on Tuesday. Wow. You guys are going to love this. This is fun. Okay. Let's we have a few minutes left of the show. Let's get how dare Rich derail our show thinking he can just call in. Oh, I forgot to ask him about Chris Ruglowski beating him at that event. Do you remember?
Oh, that's okay.
Yesterday
We'll
she said she put the whoop on him. What are those headphones? Did those come out of a Cheerios box, Caleb? I mean, look at those things. Those are like some 1980s from like that waterproof Walkman I used to have.
Yes, exactly. So I was driving to Knoxville and my AirPods died or like they weren't connecting, and so I had to stop at a gas station and buy like the $30 like small pack of headphones.
Hey, and you know those are 85-cent headphones.
Yeah.
The kind it's like on a spinning thing. Like you spin it and like you're like, oh, okay, I'll take those. And they have like some chargers that you know don't work worth a shit.
And those are also like $50 with just the cord. You can't get the block. The block's like another $20. Yeah, that's exactly where I got these headphones.
Man.
Hey, send me your I don't know if I have your mailing address. Send me your mailing address after the show, and I'm going to send you those same exact headphones. I just got a pair for Taylor Self. They're the exact same ones that Brian was wearing yesterday on the show, and Sousa wears them when he's on the road. Those are incredible. And they have a noise canceling mic also. Jabra makes them so that like if there were people in the room with you, like we wouldn't even hear any of that, or one of those fans on your computers. We'll do that. All right. Okay. I don't know if this is true, but this is how I live my life. That's the thing where you need to be working. What was the exact way you said that? If you're only working as hard as you're getting paid, you're never going to get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Work as hard as the amount you want to get paid.
Well, most people do under the amount too, right? Like, especially people that don't work for themselves. So they just got to have a job. Usually they're like, what's the minimum I could get by and not really get called out and stuff. That's not my job, bro.
Yeah.
I don't got to pick that out. That's not my job. It's the next guy's job.
I'm offended that you asked me to do that. Number and along that line too, if you're embarrassed about the job you're doing, then you should quit that job. because you're an idiot. But you shouldn't be embarrassed about the job you're doing. If you're the dude who cleans the bathroom at Starbucks, make it the cleanest bathroom ever. So everyone gets rewarded who does insane work. It's nice to see Matt's face on the podcast. Matt, who?
Thanks, Albert.
Number 2, and this is why my kids will never go to public school. Can you imagine sending your kids to public school and they get charged for sexual harassment because the wrong thing comes out of their mouth? You sent your kid there to be educated, to be learned. Oh, wait till you see this. This is nuts.
Is it
8th graders using wrong pronoun is now considered sexual harassment. The insanity of transgender ideology doesn't stop with encouraging children to undergo damaging, irreversible procedures that involve mutilating or poisoning their bodies. Now children who don't butcher the English language at the behest of gender dysphoric students must be investigated for sexual harassment. I mean, we used to call each other all sorts of fucked up names.
Yeah. It's kids on the playground.
Hey, this is Thought Police, people. This is 1984 Thought Police. This is Thought Police.
Who published this? Is this a trigger article?
Yeah, I checked it like in 3 different places.
Just gets you upset. It's one of those articles to
maybe
provoke and prod and
maybe
create more division. Worry about this. Don't worry about lobbyists. Don't worry about the spending Congress is doing.
Yes. Don't be distracted by the Sevon podcast. I'm sorry I brought that up. I just can't imagine sending my kid to public school.
You went to public school, didn't you?
Yeah, but it was different back then. Like if a kid brought a gun to school, they just took it away from him.
Exactly.
Like nothing happened.
They gave it back at the end of the day. Guns. Come to the office and pick this up.
Yeah. Jesse Glaze brought a gun to school. He also brought a beer to school one time. We all drank. And both times the yard duty, Miss Pachilla, she must be dead. Miss Pachilla took the gun from him and the beer from him. Different incidents. Jesse Glaze. He was the toughest dude in the class, and every time he got in a fight, he cried. So like he'd be on top of a kid beating a kid up, and he'd be crying. And I remember I was
like that too.
I was always like, wow, this dude just dominates in fights, but he's always the one crying.
Yeah, that's funny. I knew a kid named Darren like that, and he would just be like, beating the crap out of a guy, and then he'd be like super upset afterwards. It was
this kid
strange.
was a human tornado, super skinny, great at sports, always came to school filthy. Number 3, James O'Keefe. If you don't follow James O'Keefe on Instagram and Twitter and repost everything that he posts, I don't want to be your friend. I mean, I can know you, but you're not my friend. Like you're not doing your part. If you just want to do your part, just repost his shit. This guy is amazing. This guy's basically hunting fascists. He's hunting and exposing fascists. People, the kind of people who want to get your kid arrested for having thoughts. Okay, go ahead.
What do you mean? He's a capitalist. If we weren't really operating in a capitalist mode, it's very socialist. Like we're all like communist. Ideologically, it does not make sense. Like because we're actually censoring the right, not the left. It's true. There is bias. I don't know if the two parties can truly coexist on one platform.
What do your colleagues say about it? Like
they hate it. Oh my god! Some of my colleagues are like super left. They're like, this will be my last day if it happens.
Why are you guys so worried?
You know, jobs are at stake. He's a capitalist. If we weren't really operating like capital.
A senior engineer at Twitter, they're worried about their jobs because Elon Musk is a capitalist. Do you know that's why we have airbags?
Or the whole society we run on right now.
Yeah. Do you know that the only reason why we have anything is because human beings compete. It's the only reason. Everything. All that Coca-Cola. We only have Coca-Cola because humans compete. We only have Twitter because humans compete. There was this thing I remember with CrossFit where all the people who originally started it loved it because of the low barrier to entry, and you could in 2 days you could learn so much. And then you would get out and train people and spread the good word. And then after about 5 years, I'm making that date up, that time up, those people who had their affiliates for 5 years all of a sudden started hating the protocol and the method that got to them to where they were at. 2 days of a seminar isn't enough. I don't want anyone opening a gym next to me. It shouldn't be that cheap for those people. And they started wanting to place rules in place, forgetting where they came from and why this thing spread the way it did, instead of focusing on themselves and making their shit better. Hey, I've interviewed 2 cops now. One cop said it takes 3 years before you're a halfway decent cop, and the other one said 5 years. And they're in the academy for 9 months. You go to law school, you graduate, you take the bar, you become a certified, whatever you call those knuckleheads that prey on society because of the insane laws. You think that you're a good lawyer after 5 years of law school? No. This whole argument that you can't be a good trainer after just taking your L1, it's nuts. You can't be a good anything unless you put in shitloads of time of practice. Yep. It's a moot point. Stop saying that stuff. That's how you got into it. Stop thinking that you're better than other people. And those are the same jackasses that we're seeing at Twitter. That's what we're seeing. It's nuts. Taylor Smith, speaking of low barrier to entry, can you tell us what you guys are using to stream? No, fuck off. I really like James O'Keefe. Yeah, we're using StreamYard.
Did you see his interview on Bet David's podcast?
Taylor Smith?
No.
Oh.
James O'Keefe.
No.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Is it?
But one of the things that they were asking about, which I always wonder, is like, what type of like paranoia, fear does he live in? I mean, this guy's had like the FBI show up, and like, I mean, he's going after some really powerful people, and he's doing it very ruthlessly. And so at some point he's got to lay there and be like,
not ruthless. He's doing it with
I guess ruthless was the wrong word.
Sorry. And normally I wouldn't stop you on that. I'm sorry.
He's confrontational about it.
Confrontational.
He's like approaching them. Like they don't expect to be approached by anybody, and all of a sudden somebody's approaching them, and they're
maybe his forward approach.
Okay, yes, extremely forward.
Yeah,
like you said this about someone, and he walks up to you while you're eating dinner and confronts you on it. But the reason why it's okay is because these people are saying really, really harsh things in a really public setting, and if you do that, you should expect to be addressed anywhere you go.
It's accountability.
Right. And so you're thank you. Perfect. I believe that I agree with the level of your accountability should rise in the directly proportional to how loud your voice is. That's just one of the laws of physics, science. I don't like the right doing stupid things like conflating the fact that he said Elon has Asperger's. And like acting like that's a bad thing. That's woke shit. Who cares if he said he had Asperger's? Does he have Asperger's? Elon's an Asperger's fucking diagnosed motherfucker. Who cares? Like, good. If you want Elon to be offended by that, then you're doing the exact same thing the woke crowd is. You're trying to enforce Elon should just lean into that. Right. Yep, I got it. What? Sorry, Caleb, what did you say?
He wouldn't be who he is without it, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I'm not offended that he called him Asperger's or special help or a fucking retard. Retard's a little harsh. But it's the other stuff. It's saying that they're against free speech. That we cannot have.
That's crazy. I wonder how that happens. Like, is it like a groupthink thing? You think like they've been, and this is going to be a pretty big assumption here, but you think it's because like they travel through the educational system, right? Then you go into college, and so you're around all these like-minded people. And what I mean by like-minded is like the same ideology is kind of being pumped from the professor and your other, cohorts, your colleagues. And then you go into a big kind of tech industry thing, and then there's more of the same there, but your power's kind of grown a little bit in elevation to your job title. And so you're just kind of in that bubble. So your point of view just becomes strictly that. Like, I wonder at what point don't they like remove themselves from that and look around and are like, hey, let's actually make a decision for myself rather than kind of lean towards this socialist approach and censoring. Like, haven't they? I don't know.
Well, you heard early on when he cornered one of the CNN guys, right? He had one of the CNN guys going to it was interesting that CNN guy, he was like the head designer or something. He was actually questioning himself. He's like, hey, I don't know if what we're doing is good for society.
Yeah, that's some.
At first I was going to say, no,
critical
fuck
thinking.
no, Sousa. They don't even think like that. But you know what? Maybe you're right. I mean, they are doing some really bad stuff.
Yeah, but they see it as good, obviously. Which is, I mean,
But
right?
your question is, do they question themselves?
Right.
Like
do they
for instance,
self-reflect on their actions?
the classic is this: you have 12 unarmed black men were killed. We don't know what, but probably most of them it was justifiable. But that led to this movement that all cops are racist, right? And so then there was the defund the police, and now we know thousands of black men have died because of the people being upset that 12 unarmed black men were died. And so there was this protocol put in place and a societal prejudice against police. And so they sort of abandoned their duties in these neighborhoods. And what ended up happening is thousands of black men then were hurt because of that, and
Right.
kids and just these neighborhoods, right? Where
Statistically,
those people live. And
right.
and so what we're asking is, does anyone see that who pushed for that protocol? Does Mrs. Lightfoot from Chicago be like, oh shit,
Right.
I tried to fucking save 2 black men and I got 3,000 killed? Like, does she see the math?
Yeah. Or did they look at it at the beginning and say, hold on, let's get some data on what's happening with the cops, and realizing actually more unarmed white people are shot by cops than unarmed black people? I don't have the data in front of me, but there's like a 2000.
Or do we realize that, hey, it's so insignificant, and the parallel we would draw is to seatbelts. Seatbelts killed 2 people last year, but they also saved 15,000. So do we get rid of seatbelts?
Yeah.
Because of those 2 people who were killed by the no. It's a matter of fact, it's not even it shouldn't even be an issue. The real issue is drunk driving, old people on the road,
driver fatigue.
Just shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like totally, like, it has nothing to do with the fact of the color of their skin or the cops. It's tiny.
Right.
It would be like addressing COVID with a vaccine. It would be as stupid as that. It's tiny.
With a mandatory vaccine.
Yeah. The issue is diet. The issue
like
is diet. We all know it. And the issue with the violence of people getting killed is the way the kids are raised.
Crazy. But you can't even have those
And that girl-
conversations. It'd be censored.
James, hi.
Yes. Hello. How we doing?
You know, Rich Froning was on my show today. I think I'm pretty cool.
Still riding that high.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I still have about a 10-person Coleman tent I'm pitching in my pants. But hey, one thing.
You and me both, James. Let me
Beautiful.
tell you something. Let me say something. I got a huge dong, but I wouldn't say a 10-person tent. I have a little bit of modesty, a 7-person tent.
A pup tent.
Yes,
Okay.
but good. But
Well,
kudos to you. Kudos to you. Maybe we can. Maybe one time we'll run into each other and we can compare notes.
I mean, can you imagine? We could have a commune between the 2 of us.
Hey, if we were, did you see we opened with those worms that do penis fencing? Did you see that?
Penis fence.
I don't want to penis
actually
fence
just got done with
James.
the 9 a.m.
Okay, all right. I don't want to. No one should be doing any penis fencing with James.
No. I'm calling for a serious matter, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, listen. Listen, the
penis fencing serious, especially if you're on the losing end. If you're on the losing end of penis fencing, it's not good. Okay, go on. Sorry. Go ahead.
The Buttery Bros.
Yes.
Okay.
2 hardest working guys in the
know-
business, Heber and Marsden. Hardest working guys.
Right, and now let me just say this, because here's my thing, here's my thesis, and hear me out. They work too hard. They are constantly plugging things in their videos, constantly, and they're forcing these like macho personalities, douchey sunglass wearing, and it's too bad, because I can tell they are good dudes. I honestly can tell that if you're having a beer with them, they are great guys. My issue is they somehow get in with all the best CrossFitters. They get the best content. And I love, like, everybody I want to see, they're there with them before I can even think about it. But because of the plugs and their forced everything, I can barely watch it. What do you, I mean, am I the only one who thinks this?
First of all, I want to be clarify one thing so we don't spread any rumors. I'm 99% sure Heber has never had a beer or any alcohol. So let's squash that rumor right there, James. So,
Right.
come on
My
my show.
mistake.
Come on
I
my
should-
show and spread some rumors. But I've had, and for everyone he didn't have, I've had it. I had it for him. I guess I'll make a shit sandwich. They are extremely hardworking and dedicated to their craft. They believe in the methodology. They always express what the greatest part about working at CrossFit Inc. in the early days, and I've talked about this, is, and I learned this term from Souza and Patrick Bet-David, is it was full of intrapreneurs, meaning everyone there treated it like it was their own business. They took ownership. You never had to tell Heber or Marsden what to fucking do. They were working 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. If they were on vacation, they would stop into an affiliate and make content and send it back to the mothership. I mean, those motherfuckers work. How they showed their relationship with CrossFit, it's part of them. Yeah, they are different creatures than me. How they were raised, where they grew up, and so it expresses. There is a Pee Wee Herman element to what they do that makes me uncomfortable. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's like I'm just into penis fencing, and that's what makes me comfortable. But there's an element to what they do. They're both sophisticated men, and when I see them make those videos, I don't know that side of them. Not that I knew them real well, but I mean, I would see them like every day or every other day or whatever, you know, and I would consider them like strong colleagues. Even when we didn't get along, you know, when I worked there, I would hear rumors of them just talking mad shit about me all the time, but I didn't even care. Like I fucking respect the fuck out of those guys, but their content is, when I watch it because they had someone on their show who then I'm going to interview, and I use their show as a reference tool. But I can't, it's so hard to critique them outside of just what's my cup of tea, because the editing's insane. The audio's insane. The camera movement's insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, do you ever like not want to bone and you bone, and afterwards you're like, at 100% of the time you're like, man, I'm glad I did that. You know what I mean? Like you ate too much, you feel fat, you don't really want to fuck, but you do anyway, or you're tired, or like you just don't want it. But every time afterwards, like, well, shit, that was good. I'm glad I did that. That's how I feel about their show. I'm never like excited to watch their show, but after I watch it, I'm always like, oh, I'm glad I saw that. So I hear you, and their access to people's insane. I'm so fucking jealous when they were with that boxer, Tiafimo Fomo. I would fucking cut off Caleb's pinky to interview that dude. But yeah, I feel you. They have a special they're a niche. But I've said on the show before, I'd like to see them do other stuff.
Yes.
So that's my 2 cents. As far as the douchey glasses go, I like the fact that they push the douchey glasses, because I think it's funny that, I mean, I never see a crack in their armor either. So if they are insecure about that shit, they never show it. Like I'm like watching the show, I'm like, man, these guys, like, they stand by their shit.
Wow, really, Savant? Because I remember when I used to smoke weed, and I would analyze people on a deep level. I feel like if I watched their videos high, I'd be like, what are these guys doing? This is not them.
Oh,
but listen, here's my last thing. I'll hang up. I'll let you guys move on.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to hang up, Savant? Is that what you're saying?
I thought you were going to hang up.
No, he's going to finish his
No, I want to say one. Yeah. Okay.
Listen to this. This is good. Watching the Buttery Bros is bloated sex. Oh my god. Oh my.
Yeah. Here's my overall point, and this is not my intention, because I agree with everything you said. I can tell they bust their ass.
Yeah.
Is when you were going to, like, whatever, Rich's gym.
Yeah.
It was about Rich and Dan. It was clearly like all Rich and Dan and all those guys. It was like we were just watching them, and it was amazing to see that shit. And then with Buttery Bros, sometimes it feels like it's more about Heber and Mars and like all the little things they do than it is about like watching Justin Medeiros train and like hear his perspective and stuff. That's my only thing.
But don't they have to
see that kind of stuff come back?
But James, don't they have to do that? I hear that criticism a lot too, and I kind of don't have that for them. Here's 2 reasons. One, they both have beautiful bodies. So right, and they both work out hard. And when I met, I can't ever remember Marsden not having a beautiful body, but when I met Heber, he was a fucking stick. Like I think as I recall, I could have run circles around him in the gym.
Yeah, he's
like he couldn't even put my weights away. And now he would fucking throw me fucking over my own house. So like I saw him put that work in, and he's a savage. And I kind of think that they had to do that I think that they had to build those elements. And I do think that we're seeing Heber mature. I was actually just looking on his site the other day, and he's including his wife more and more. And when I see that, I think, oh, I maybe I'm interpreting it wrong or I'm romanticizing it, but I see him as a man like growing older and like falling more and more in love with his wife, and sort of us getting more depth to it, or him getting willing to share more depth about himself to the public instead of just the sort of the Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah. In fairness, I had not seen that, and I do respect that. So that's fair.
But anyway,
Well, hey,
we would agree. We would agree on this, James, right? Regardless of what you think about them, we're glad they're in the ecosystem, right? I mean, they bring a shit ton of
Better
energy,
off
right?
with them, that's for sure.
100%. 100%. I take 5 videos over one of theirs over one of Craig Ritchie. You guys have a great one. I'll see you later.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, he was like just about to run Heber and Marsden over, and then he saw Craig behind him and just backed over Craig. Heber and Marsden got to escape.
Right at the end of the call. You know what's interesting is I wonder if you like had a conversation with them. You know how sometimes actors
This
will
is
get
fair.
into, like,
so sorry, real quick. Sorry. Hold that thought. This is fair. Dan Straub. That's right. They are the Disney of CF content. That's a very in Disney's the shits, right? Except for the molesting the kids part, they're amazing. Okay, go ahead, Susan.
Actually, it's kind of along Dan's point here too, but it's, you know, like sometimes actors will start and they'll start in a comedy role. Like I think Jim Carrey and a bunch of these other people have done it, where they do these kind of like comedies, these over the top eccentric comedies, and at some point they're like, okay, I want to switch gears and I want to do a serious movie or a different role, you know, a drama or something like that. And then so you see some of them make the transition. Like I wonder if that we'll see that same transition or evolution with the Buttery Bros. Like they kind of started with the caricatures that were all hype in the litter box and stuff, and it worked really well. And then I wonder as they continue to progress, if they'll say, okay, like let's kind of leave that behind and transition into something else, or maybe they just enjoyed that shtick, you know.
That litter box thing, I've gone through a whole evolution with it. I used to think it was just ridiculous, and now I'm kind of like, wow, those guys, like it's Hiller has the bat, they got the litter box.
Yeah,
like,
so when people
good
see
job,
them, they're
dudes.
like, oh,
Yeah, quit being a hater, Sevon. Like, good job, dudes.
I know, but nobody denies their hard work. And as far as it going for like commercial after commercial, like, you know what I mean? They got to make their money, and they got to promote those brands, and they got to bring value to the brands, and they got to get it in front of all the eyeballs they possibly can. So I don't really, you know, I mean, it sucks, but that's what they got to do to make the money, right?
Along that line, I want to finish as we wrap up here. You have to go, right? I mean, we've been on here 90 minutes.
Yeah, I got to be done by like 8.
What do you do, Caleb? What are you doing? You're at the event. What do you? What?
Yeah. This is it.
Okay, backstage. Yeah, give us a view. What is that? Is that tape?
This is all tape. And
You're just waiting for someone. You're just sitting there doing podcasts, waiting for someone's hands to rip.
Yeah, basically.
Waiting for someone to skin a knee.
Oh yeah.
How single is Marsden? I don't know if Marsden is single.
I don't think he is.
There was some news a couple years ago. I knew he was dating like a news anchored girl or a news lady, a chick TV lady.
He probably keeps private.
People who are like, I hear these people who I respect, and they're like, no one needs more than $80 million. These people who have billions of dollars, they don't need this money. You any person who says that, or anyone who says, well, that was a waste of money, or with that 40 billion, Elon could have fed the world about Twitter. Those people have no idea how money works or what's going on. They don't understand the mechanism of how money works at all. Zero. It's like saying, how could there ever be a drought anywhere? We have the ocean. Like, let's just bring ocean water. I mean, that's not. No one, and I've said this before, no one has ever wasted money. The only way you could potentially waste money is as if you burned it. But buying 20 Bentleys and leaving them in a garage somewhere is not wasting money. You don't understand what the word waste means, and you don't understand how money works. If that person buys 20 Bentleys and then they starve to death and die 3 days later because they spent all their money on Bentleys, you could say that, hey, that probably wasn't the best thing for their survival. But it wasn't a waste. That money just keeps going into the ecosystem. And a ton of people benefited from it. That first Mercedes-Benz that was made in 1986, the 560 SEL, was $109,000. It was the most expensive production car ever made at that time. And it was the first car that had airbags.
Hmm.
And now all cars have airbags. Shit boxes have airbags that are made in shithole countries. It's such poor thinking. You are not understanding how the world works, how people get better.
It's funny to me that people are more interested in how individuals spend the money that they earned, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, but they're like not as concerned with the spending that Congress is doing, which is their money and their kids' future money.
Right. Okay. So another great point. So you're saying, well, they have plenty of money. Why not tax them? Okay. So that is borderline, you could explain, borderline a waste of money. And here's why. When you tax someone who's rich, what are you saying? Send that money to the government. Think about what the government does.
Yeah.
Just really think long and hard. Why do you think Gavin Newsom needs more of your money? Would you rather Jeff Bezos spend his money, or would you rather have Gavin Newsom spend money?
Yeah.
How do you think it makes society better? Every dollar that Gavin Newsom spends makes us weaker.
Yeah, government's a terrible deployer of capital.
Yeah,
it gets wasted. And then the point that I was also making there too is like we're all obsessed with, oh well, Elon just spent 40 billion here, but Congress just spent 40 billion for Ukraine, and that money kind of just gets shuffled off. And there's all this other billions are being spent here on these initiatives, and we never see anything come from it. Like, who would you rather? The point you're making, who would you rather give $1 billion to? Elon Musk, who's going to then turn that into a profit, create more money, bring more value to lives, or Gavin Newsom, where we're just going to see California continuously get worse. So it's like
it's nuts that people don't see it. It's
why are we more
nuts to me.
critical of Congress's spending? Why aren't we paying attention to where those tax?
Yeah, where do they spend? Yeah, they feed seagulls. Don't forget that.
Yes.
For those of you who heard the show, everything I'm saying makes sense to you. If this is the first time you've heard this, I'll get into it more later. But we don't want to feed seagulls. Seagulls ruin the environment in which we live. Hi. Even though I love seagulls, don't get me wrong. Seagulls are great. One of my favorite birds. But feeding them, opening up a bag of bread and feeding them is over a crowd of people is not nice. Hey, how are you, Mars?
Awesome. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
You're on the Sevon podcast. You get the final word today, Mars. Tell us.
Well, okay, if that's the case. So I always find it interesting how big tax bills are, right? They're like thousands and thousands of pages, and nobody ever reads them, right?
Yep.
And all these people calling for more taxes are the stupidest shit. Do you have a tax accountant?
See.
Yeah. Tax accountants are worth their money in gold because literally money, weight in gold, whatever. Anyways, literally you can pay $500 and you'll save thousands on taxes, because the whole reason the tax bill is thousands of pages long is so that you can find every loophole to avoid your taxes. That's why it's thousands of pages long. It's to make loopholes. That's why all these people in politics like add a couple pages so that their little cash cow can find a way to slip through the cracks. Like, have you ever heard, you know who Paul Harvey is?
Yes.
Not familiar.
You have to live in the. I thought I'm watching the listener numbers, and I was expecting it to plummet with when Mars got on, but actually we just put one on. Yeah, Paul Harvey. He's the guy who talks about aliens in the middle of the night, and you have to live like in Iowa and fucking listen to AM radio to know who Paul Harvey is, right? It's like people who don't have lives know who Paul Harvey is, right?
You're like 50% correct.
Like Paul Harvey's radio show is like out of
an
outhouse in the middle of Kansas. That's how I imagine it, with like 2 rabbit ears.
Okay. Well, it's Chicago, and anyways, he kind of has like opinion takes on a lot of things. But one of his big things was in the '60s. He had this album that he put out, which essentially was just him talking, and he said, "History has shown that when you tax people above a quarter, you're doomed to economic cliffs." And he said that biblically speaking, we shouldn't go tax. God said God was saying by tithing, this is what like it was like representation of how the government, how the state should act, like a 10% or something.
What would happen if you got some AirPods that were noise canceling? Would they make it so it didn't always seem you were calling from a place where animals were being tortured?
Yeah, I know. I should try something else.
Dude, you're a frequent caller. Clean your shit up. You don't take this fucking shit seriously, do you?
Oh, I don't actually. I'm on the toilet right now.
God, I love you, Mars. You're a good dude. Okay, you get the last word. We can't let it end with like sheep's being slaughtered.
I think the point, one of the points that I think he was making is like, I forget who the guy was that ran. I wish I remember his name, but he used to say, if God only asked for 10%, then the government can only ask for 9%.
Oh, I like that. So speaking of Hebrew, I think that's what the Mormons do. They take 10%, right?
10% tithe, yeah.
Tithe. Okay, hi caller, how are you?
What's up, boys? It's Will Plummer.
Hey, Will.
What's up, Will?
Will, what's up, dude? How come it's your phone number not in my phone? How come I don't know it's you when you call?
I don't know. Should be.
Yeah, it should be. Maybe it's because it's the wrong phone.
I think it's the show one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that after this. Where are you this weekend?
I'm in Indianapolis.
So you're not going to any of the events?
I'm not going to Syndicate, but I will be at the Granite Games.
Okay.
When it's in Minnesota. Yeah.
And what are you in there? Are you working? Are you volunteering or?
I'm spectating and then working for you guys probably.
Oh, you're awesome, dude. You're so awesome. Yep. All right. Was there anything you want to say? We're going to get off here. We got to let Susie go to work, and I'm going to take the boys to the skate park. Let Caleb just wait for someone to get
Beaver needs to go keep people healthy.
Yes.
The medic.
All right. Well, always good to hear from you, and we'll be look forward to hanging with you at the Granite Games and using your cell phone battery up.
All right. Sweet. See you
guys. Stay in contact. Thanks. Bye. Later. Guys, thank you so much. We are putting together a schedule. It started last night in the wee hour. I got another exposure notification. COVID exposure notification.
Do you have that thing turned on or something? Or
no, I have to put stop setting up. It like what keeps wanting me to set it up. Tomorrow, I suspect that early in the morning tomorrow, I'm trying to figure this out now, but by 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow morning, a bunch of individual events will have already occurred, both at Torian. I think 2 will have occurred at Torian and 1 at Lowlands. And so at 6 a.m. tomorrow, I think we're going to try to jump live with a whole cast of characters. But directly, I'll be inviting the last group of people, J.R. Howell, Brian Friend, Taylor Self. So possibly we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 a.m. Go to the Sevon Podcast YouTube station, and we will be updating our schedule regularly there. Bear with us that this thing is going to be by the seat of our pants. But of course, because we do everything beyond what we're paid for, it will be amazing. Bye-bye.